The Miami Dolphins, they've hired Packers defensive coordinator Jeff Hafley, couched underneath the college football championship game yesterday. The Dolphins made their head coaching hire official. Stephen Ross released a statement, quote, "I believe great things are ahead for the Miami Dolphins with Hafley leading the way. He's an accomplished coach with a proven track record as a leader and motivator. He has tenacity. He has grit, while at the same time establishing trust with his players in order to get the most out of them."
I would submit to you this. Next season, the Miami Dolphins season is going to be one of the most uninteresting, boring seasons we have sat through in a while. Mike McDaniel, there was a little vibe of interest because we knew, remember when he was coming here, he had rap quotes at his press conferences. We'd never seen a head coach like that. Tua was still a thing. Tyreek Hill is on the roster. I have a feeling next season, everyone knows you're looking at what, a 6-11 season. I mean, there's no real hope for much of that. So it's already going to be a boring season. It's going to probably be a bridge season for quarterback. And this is his first season as a head coach. The cap constraint is heavy. I just think it's going to be a very bland, blah season. It's not even like, North Carolina in college football. Terrible season. But you've got Bill Belichick and the girlfriend, and you like this just seems to me like we are headed towards a really boring, bland season. Not to say that you won't see the building blocks for the future of something great or that it won't be the start of something great. I just have a feeling next season in particular is going to be very boring and uninteresting.
You just said it. This is a change of culture and setting a foundation, and foundations and stability is very boring. So they hired a foundation stability guy, and that's boring as hell. I wanted to go offense because you have to score points, but the comfort level of Green Bay with the GM and head coach I like, but Hawk, I think you hit it on the head. We win 6. We should be happy.
It's like you talk about building a house. So if you're building a home, you're going to take pictures and show your friends when walls are going up or a roof is there. It's not the laying of the foundation. It's the most boring part of the construction process is the laying of the now. It's extremely important, but the most important, but the most boring part visually and entertainment-wise is the laying of the foundation.
Yeah. Hey, Hawk, check out this cement, bro.
Yeah, exactly. Right, I see it. It's coming, and that's right. That's about it.
Yeah.
Well, I'd like to go on record. If that is the course that they take, we'll see. We'll find out. Don't win 6 games. Win less. I'm already on that train.
But when you say if that's the course they take, is there another option? What's the other option?
It's probably the only option, but I still think we've seen it in the NFL. Quicker turnarounds. They can go out. They can get Malik Willis.
Right. I'm not saying there can't be a quick turnaround, but to think that next season, when they have all these salary cap, when all this cap dead money, like I just don't see how. Maybe you get Malik Willis and he's good, but is he Patrick Mahomes?
No, I'm with you. I'm not saying that they're going to be Super Bowl contenders next year, but I wouldn't put it past any NFL organization to go from where the Dolphins are at, cap hell, to somehow, for whatever reason, competing in a playoff for a playoff spot next year. Again, I'm not suggesting they will. I'm just saying if you're not, then don't do this thing where you win 6 or 7 games again. Like if next year's a bridge year, be the Saints. Be the Titans this year. Be the Raiders this year. Go all in. Do it the right way, not how they did it in 2018, which is where they won 5 games and they screwed themselves out of a generational quarterback. Put yourself in the best position to have a elite draft pick the following year and don't get back on the hamster wheel.
We've actually, us three have talked about this through the years. How do you do that with a first-time head coach that has to prove himself and with a bunch of young guys that are underpaid? How do you tell them don't win 6 games, Solana?
He doesn't have to prove himself because We just told you.
How do you tell a roster don't win 6 games?
You don't tell the roster don't win 6 games, but you literally trade half the roster.
You construct the roster so it's impossible to win. I understand it, but that literally means getting rid of everyone, Devon Achane and the like. And I don't think they're at that point.
I'm with you.
Yeah,
I'm with you, but I'm telling you where I'm coming from.
Yeah, I just don't think that's reality.
What Stephen Ross chose to do here was to strip it all down, which, by the way, I asked for. I'm not complaining. I don't even have a take on any of these hires. I'm willing to see it play out, which I think should be how most Dolphins fans feel about this. Fine. These are your selections for likely your last rebuild of this organization. I'm willing to see it play out. But next year, do it the right way. You stripped it all down. Be bad for a year. Put yourself forward by putting yourself backward for a year.
And the Titans were terrible, and they had the first pick of the draft, so now they're rebuilding. But I would say the Raiders, they went and hired Pete Carroll and went and paid Geno, and were still terrible.
Yeah.
You know, like the thought you're saying, I understand the concept of it, but it's way harder to do that.
It's a lot harder to pull off because the people who are out there in the coaching, no one's ever going to try to lose a game, period, end of story. Again, you can construct a roster that makes it difficult to win games, but that doesn't mean it's going to work.
Couple other notes in the NFL. The Titans, speaking of the Titans, they hired Robert Saleh as their head coach.
All right.
The Steelers are set to interview Brian Flores today for head coach. I also read they're going to interview Mike McCarthy tomorrow for the head coaching vacancy.
I think I saw Mike McDaniel was interviewed today by the Raiders, maybe. Did anybody see that?
As a head coach?
I think so.
Well, he's not going to be the offensive coordinator in Detroit, which a lot of people were linking him to that job. They hired somebody else.
Although I did see something that was interesting that said he's not a culture fit for Dan Campbell's team. Like as interesting as it might have been to see Mike McDaniel take over for Ben Johnson, a season removed from Ben Johnson, when you realize that maybe Ben Johnson was the key to that Detroit offense, Mike McDaniel's style doesn't really jibe with Dan Campbell's style, you know.
Dan Campbell would pee in his off-white ones.
Polar opposites, just polar opposites.
But I think that is why Mike McDaniel perhaps may have been interested in that position from the standpoint of, let me go see how a different type of competitor, a different type of coaching style could benefit my coaching style moving forward. I think that's why a lot of people thought they would be a good fit for one another from the standpoint of McDaniel could absorb a lot of knowledge for his next opportunity.
Yeah.
And Anthony Weaver.
I think a zebra has its stripes. Speaking of why Tennessee hired Robert Saleh, because he's very Mike Vrabel-ish, and they saw success with Mike Vrabel. Like, if you want a Mike McDaniel, you get a Mike McDaniel. You can't make Mike McDaniel Mike Vrabel. It's just not going to happen. They're not that person.
Anthony Weaver, our defensive coordinator, he's interviewing for the Baltimore Ravens head coaching vacancy today. Remember, he has history there. He played there, and he was a coordinator there as well.
All right.